My boyfriend's identical twin always gave me weird looks. My boyfriend said I was imagining it. Then his twin texted me, "We need to talk about last night." But I'd been with my boyfriend. Let me back up. I met Connor at a coffee shop 6 months ago. I'd just moved to Portland for work and didn't know anyone. I was sitting alone trying to figure out my new laptop when this guy walked over with the most genuine smile I'd ever seen. "You look like you could use some help," he said. That was Connor, or at least I thought it was. He sat with me for 2 hours. We talked about everything. He was a graphic designer, loved hiking, had this infectious laugh that made everyone around us smile. He asked for my number before he left, and we went on our first date 3 days later. Those first 2 months felt like a dream. Connor was thoughtful in ways I'd never experienced. He'd remember I mentioned wanting to try a new Thai restaurant and surprise me with reservations. He'd text me good morning before I woke up. He'd leave little notes in my bag when I wasn't looking. But there were weird moments too. Sometimes he'd seem confused when I referenced things we'd talked about. He'd ask me to retell stories he'd already heard. One time, he showed up wearing cologne I'd specifically told him I hated, and when I mentioned it, he looked genuinely confused. "I've never worn this before," he said, sniffing his wrist. "Bought it yesterday." "But I told you I don't like that scent," I said. He just stared at me. "When did you tell me that?" 2 weeks ago, at your apartment." I don't remember that conversation. I brushed it off. Everyone forgets things. Then came the family dinner. Connor had been nervous all week about me meeting his parents. I wore a blue dress. He held my hand the entire drive. His parents were lovely. His mom hugged me like she'd known me forever. His dad grilled steaks and asked about my job. Everything felt perfect. Until Liam walked in. I heard him before I saw him. His voice was exactly like Connor's. When he came around the corner, I actually gasped. They were identical. Same height, same build, same dark hair that curled slightly at the ends. Same green eyes that crinkled when they smiled. "This is my twin brother," Connor said, squeezing my hand. "Liam, this is my girlfriend." Liam's eyes locked on mine. He didn't smile, didn't move, just stared. "Nice to meet you," I said, extending my hand. He took it, but held on too long. His thumb brushed against my palm in a way that felt deliberate. When I pulled away, his grip tightened for just a second before releasing. "Liam works in finance," Connor's mom said, oblivious to the tension. "He just moved back from New York." "That's great," I managed. Throughout dinner, I felt Liam watching me. Every time I looked up, his eyes were on me, not in a normal way, in a way that made my skin crawl. When I'd laugh at something Connor said, Liam would tilt his head like he was studying me. When I reached for my water, Liam reached for his at the exact same time, mirroring my movement. "You okay?" Connor whispered when his parents went to get dessert. "Your brother is staring at me?" Connor glanced over at Liam, who was scrolling through his phone. "He's just quiet. Takes him a while to warm up to people." But I knew what I saw. After dinner, I went to use the bathroom. When I came out, Liam was standing in the hallway, alone. "You seem nice," he said, blocking my path. "Thanks." I tried to step around him. He moved with me. "Connor talks about you constantly. That's sweet. Is it?" He leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "Has he told you about our childhood?" My heart started beating faster. "Some things." "Did he tell you we used to switch places? Pretend to be each other?" "No. We got really good at it. Even our parents couldn't tell us apart." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Sometimes we'd switch for entire days, go to each other's classes, date each other's girlfriends." "That's weird," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Is it?" He pushed off the wall and stepped closer. "Or is it just efficient? I need to get back." He grabbed my arm as I tried to pass. Not hard, but firm enough to stop me. "You smell different today. New perfume?" I yanked my arm away. "Don't touch me." Connor appeared at the end of the hall. "Everything okay?" Liam stepped back immediately, hands up. "Just chatting. Your girlfriend is lovely." That night, I told Connor what happened. He sighed like he'd heard it before. "Liam can be intense," he said. "He had a bad breakup last year. Makes him weird around relationships." He grabbed my arm. "I'll talk to him. He said you two used to switch places." Connor went quiet. "That was when we were kids. We don't do that anymore. Promise?" He kissed my forehead. "Promise." But things didn't get better. Liam started showing up places. The coffee shop where Connor and I had our first date. The park where we'd have picnics. The gym I went to every morning. "Small world," he'd say with that same unsettling smile. I'd mention it to Connor and he'd brush it off. "Portland's a small city. Liam lives downtown. You're bound to run into him." But it felt deliberate, calculated. Then Connor started acting different. It started small. He'd forget plans we'd made, show up late without explanation. His texting style changed. He used to send long, thoughtful messages. Now they were short, almost cold. One night, he came to my apartment and something felt off immediately. The way he kissed me was different, more aggressive. His hands grabbed rather than held. "You okay?" I asked, pulling back. "Fine. Why?" "You seem different." He frowned. "How?" "I don't know. Just different." He kissed me again, harder this time, and I pushed him away. "Connor, stop. What's wrong?" "You're being weird." "I'm being myself." He looked genuinely confused, hurt even. I studied his face. Same green eyes, same dimple, same small scar above his left eyebrow from a childhood accident. "Sorry," I said. I'm just tired. But the feeling wouldn't go away. A week later, we went to dinner at a new Italian restaurant. Connor ordered seafood pasta. He usually hated seafood. When I mentioned it, he laughed. I love seafood. Always have. No, you told me you're allergic to shrimp. I've never been allergic to anything. He reached across the table and took my hand. You feeling okay? You've been acting paranoid lately. Had I been? Maybe I was losing it. Maybe the stress from my new job was getting to me. That night, he walked me to my door, kissed me goodnight, told me he loved me. I watched him drive away at 10:47 p.m. I remember checking my phone. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Liam. We need to talk about last night. I stared at my phone for a full minute, my mind racing. Then I typed back, what are you talking about? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. The restaurant, the pasta. You told me about your childhood dog. My hands started shaking violently. Last night, I'd told Connor about my dog, Biscuit. How she died when I was 12. How I'd held her while the vet put her to sleep. How I still had nightmares about it. That was Connor, I wrote. Was it? He responded. No. I called Connor immediately. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Again. On the 4th try, someone picked up. Hello? The voice was tired, confused. Where were you last night? Pause. What? Connor, where were you last night? I was at home. Liam came over. We ordered pizza and watched the game. What game? Longer pause. I don't remember. Why are you asking me this? Did you take me to dinner last night? What? No. We didn't have plans last night. My vision started to blur. Connor, what the hell is going on? I heard movement, muffled voices. Then Connor came back on. I need to tell you something, but you have to promise not to freak out. Tell me. Liam and we've been switching sometimes, just to see if people could tell the difference. It started as a joke when we were kids and we never really stopped. I couldn't breathe. How many times? What? How many times has Liam pretended to be you with me? The silence stretched so long, I thought he'd hung up. I don't know. He finally whispered. I hung up. My phone buzzed immediately. Another text from Liam. Meet me at Brewer's Coffee Shop. 3 p.m. today. Come alone. There's something you need to know about the day you met Connor. My entire body went cold. The day I met Connor. 6 months ago. The coffee shop. The guy who'd helped me with my laptop. The guy who'd sat with me for 2 hours. The guy who'd asked for my number. Had that been Connor? Or had it been Liam? I spent the next 5 hours pacing my apartment. I called my best friend Tessa, but she didn't answer. I started typing text messages to Connor, then deleted them. My mind kept replaying every interaction, every date, every kiss, every intimate moment. Which ones had been with Connor? Which ones had been with Liam? At 2:45 p.m., I grabbed my keys. I had to know. The coffee shop looked exactly the same as it had 6 months ago. Same exposed brick walls, same vintage light fixtures, same smell of espresso and vanilla. Liam was already there, sitting at a corner table. He stood when he saw me. Thanks for coming, he said. Tell me what's going on. My voice was shaking. Right now. He gestured to the chair across from him. I didn't sit. 6 months ago, he started. A woman walked into this coffee shop. She looked lost, frustrated. She was trying to figure out her laptop. My stomach dropped. I walked over to her, introduced myself. We talked for hours. She was funny, smart, beautiful. When I asked for her number, she gave it to me without hesitation. No, I whispered. 3 days later, I took her on our first date, to that Thai restaurant she'd mentioned. We had an amazing time. I couldn't stop thinking about her. You're lying, am I? He pulled out his phone and scrolled through photos. Then he turned it toward me. It was a selfie. Me and him, or me and Connor. I couldn't tell. We were at the Thai restaurant. I was laughing, looking at the camera. He was looking at me. The timestamp said 6 months ago, 3 days after I'd met Connor at the coffee shop. That's you, he said quietly. With me. On our first date. I backed away from the table. This doesn't make sense. Connor found out I was seeing someone. He'd just moved back from Seattle. He was lonely, jealous. Liam stood up. He asked me about you. I showed him your picture. He said you were exactly his type. Stop. So we made a deal. We'd both date you. See who you liked better. See if you could even tell the difference. That's insane. Is it? He stepped closer. You didn't notice for 6 months. I felt like I was going to throw up. Which one of you did I have dinner with 2 nights ago? Me. The family dinner, 2 months in. That was Connor. I pretended to meet you for the first time. The hiking trip last month? Me. The night you told me you loved me. He smiled. Which night? Because we've both said it. I stumbled backward, hit a chair, caught myself on a table. Why? I managed to ask. Because you're special. He said it like it was obvious. When I met you, I knew I wanted you. But Connor wanted you too. And we've always shared everything. I'm not a thing to share. We know that now. He stepped closer again. That's why I'm telling you the truth. Connor wanted to keep playing this game forever. But I'm done lying. I want you to choose. Choose? Me or him. He was right in front of me now. Know who you've been falling in love with. Because it's been both of us. My phone buzzed. A text from Connor. Where are you? We need to talk. Liam glanced at my phone. He's scared. Scared you'll pick me. I'm not picking either of you. My voice was getting louder. You're both insane. You love one of us. Maybe both of us. I see it in the way you look at me, the way you kiss me. He reached for my hand. I jerked away. Don't touch me. Which moments were your favorite? He tilted his head. The night we watched the sunset at the beach? That was me. The morning I brought you coffee in bed? Connor? The time we made love during the thunderstorm? Me. The weekend trip to the coast? We both went, switched halfway through. I was crying now. Couldn't stop. You're sick. I'm in love with you. He said it so simply, so earnestly. We both are. That's the problem. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Connor was calling, then texting, then calling again. He's coming here, Liam said, glancing at his own phone. He knows I'm telling you. Good, but I need you to know something else first. He moved so close I could smell his cologne, the same cologne Connor wore. Or maybe it was Connor's cologne that Liam wore. I couldn't tell anymore. That day in the coffee shop. I saw you first. I chose you first. Connor stole you from me. That's not how people work, isn't it? He grabbed my arms before I could pull away. Not rough, but firm. Every moment you loved. Every time you felt safe. Every time you felt seen. Some of that was me. Let go. I can't. His eyes were desperate now. Manic. Because if you walk away, you lose both of us. And I don't think you can do that. The door burst open. Connor ran in, wild-eyed. When he saw us, he froze. Liam, let her go. She deserves the truth. You're scaring her. You've been lying to her for 6 months. Connor moved closer. I was trapped between them now. 2 identical faces. 2 identical voices. Both claiming to love me. Both claiming to be the real one. Which one of you helped me with my laptop? I asked quietly. They both went silent. That first day, in this coffee shop. Which one of you was it? Liam opened his mouth. Connor cut him off. Does it matter? Connor asked. You fell in love with both of us. You just didn't know it. Yes, it matters. I was screaming now. Other customers were staring. I didn't care. That day changed my life. I need to know who I met. The twins looked at each other. Some silent conversation passed between them. It was me, Liam said finally. He's lying, Connor said immediately. It was me. I have proof. What proof? Connor pulled out his phone, scrolled through old messages. See? You texted me after that day. Said you had a great time. I looked at the messages. They were real. Time-stamped from 6 months ago. But Liam was pulling out his phone too. I have messages too. From the same day. Because we were both texting you. On different numbers. He showed me his screen. Different messages. Same timestamp. That's impossible, I whispered. I only gave my number to one person. You gave it to Connor's number, Liam said. But I'm the one who asked for it. Then I gave the number to Connor and told him to text you. To see if he could keep up the charade. You're lying, Connor said. But his voice cracked. Am I? Liam turned to his brother. Tell her. Tell her the truth about that day. Connor's face crumbled. We both saw her. We flipped a coin to see who would approach first. Liam won. But I was the one who texted her that night. I was the one who took her on the first date. After I told you everything about her, Liam shot back. What she liked. What made her laugh. I did the work and you swooped in. Because you were going to ruin it. You always do this. You get obsessed and you scare them away. She wasn't scared of me. She was falling in love with me. She was falling in love with Connor. He pointed at himself. The person she thought she was dating. You mean the person you were pretending to be using all my information? They were yelling over each other now. I backed toward the door. Neither of them noticed. You stole her from me, Liam said. You don't own people, Connor shot back. You don't own people, Liam repeated mockingly. But you had no problem pretending to be me when it was convenient. I pretended to be you twice. You pretended to be me dozens of times. Because you're a coward. You couldn't even tell her the truth. And you could? You ambushed her with it because you knew she was choosing me. She wasn't choosing anyone. She didn't know there was a choice. I reached the door. My hand touched the handle. Wait, they both said in unison. I turned. They were both staring at me now. Both desperate. Both reaching for me. Please, Connor said. Let me explain. Please, Liam said. Give me a chance. They even begged the same way. I opened the door. Don't contact me. Either of you. Ever again. But you love me, Liam said. But you love me, Connor said. I looked at both of them. These identical faces. These identical lies. I don't even know who you are, I said. Then I walked out. My phone started ringing before I reached my car. Connor. I declined. It rang again. Liam. Declined. Then Connor. Then Liam. Then both at once. I blocked both numbers. That night, I sat in my apartment trying to piece together 6 months of memories. Which dates had been with Connor? Which had been with Liam? Which intimate moments had I shared with a stranger pretending to be my boyfriend? The hiking trip where Connor told me about his childhood? Had that been real? Or had Liam been feeding me lines? The night Connor held me while I cried about my job. Had he meant those comforting words? Or had he been playing a role? The morning Connor proposed we move in together. Had he wanted that? Or had that been Liam planting seeds? I couldn't remember anymore. Couldn't separate truth from fiction. There was a knock on my door around midnight. I looked through the peephole. Connor was standing there. or Liam. I genuinely couldn't tell. Please, he said. I just want to talk. I didn't open the door. He knocked for 20 minutes before finally leaving. The next morning, there were flowers outside my door. The card said, I'm sorry, Connor. The morning after that, more flowers. I'm sorry, Liam. By the end of the week, my doorstep was covered in bouquets. I threw them all away. 3 weeks passed. My phone stayed quiet. No more surprise visits. No more flowers. I started to think they'd finally given up. Then I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Don't hang up, a woman's voice said. My name is Victoria. I dated Connor 2 years ago. My blood went cold. How did you get this number? I've been trying to find his new girlfriend for weeks. I need to warn you. Warn me about what? The twin switching. It's not a game to them. It's a pattern. I sat down. What do you mean? They did it to me too. And to the girl before me. And the girl before her. She paused. They've been doing this since high school. Finding women to share. Seeing how long they can keep the lie going. That's insane. I know. I didn't believe it either until I found videos. Videos? They recorded our dates. Both of them. Compared notes. Laughed about which one of them I seemed to like better. Her voice broke. I thought I was losing my mind. I kept telling Connor he was acting different. He kept telling me I was imagining things. What happened? I caught them switching at a restaurant. Connor went to the bathroom. Liam came back wearing his jacket. They thought I wouldn't notice. She laughed bitterly. When I confronted them, they acted like I was the crazy one, said I was being paranoid, that the stress was getting to me. Did you go to the police? And tell them what? That identical twins were both dating me? That's not illegal, just cruel. She sighed. I called because I saw Liam at a coffee shop last week. He was talking to a new girl, laughing with her, taking notes on his phone. My hands started shaking. What did she look like? Blonde, early 20s. She kept touching his arm when she laughed. That was Connor's type. That was my type. They're already moving on, Victoria said quietly. They'll do to her what they did to us. We have to stop them. How? By telling her she's dating 2 people and she can't tell them apart? She'll think we're jealous exes. She was right. The whole thing sounded insane. I'm sorry, Victoria said. I just thought you should know you're not crazy, and you're not alone. She hung up before I could respond. I sat in my apartment for hours, staring at nothing. Then I opened my laptop and started searching. If Victoria was telling the truth, there had to be evidence. Social media posts, old photos, something. I found Connor's Instagram first, scrolled back 2 years. There she was, Victoria, in dozens of photos with Connor or Liam, I couldn't tell. In the comments, people kept tagging the wrong twin. Cute pic Liam on a post Connor had captioned. You and Connor are adorable, on a post Liam had shared. The twins never corrected anyone. I kept scrolling, found another girl, 3 years ago. Same pattern, photos with both twins, comments mixing up their names. No corrections. Before her, another girl, and another, and another. They'd been doing this for years. I needed proof, real proof, something that would make people believe me. The next morning, I drove to the coffee shop, the same one where I'd met Connor, or Liam, the one where this nightmare started. I walked inside and asked to speak to the manager. An older woman with kind eyes came out. I need a favor, I said. Do you have security footage from 6 months ago? She frowned. That's a long time. We usually delete footage after 30 days. Why? I need to know which twin I met that day. I must have looked desperate because her expression softened. Wait here, she said. She came back 20 minutes later with a laptop. I found something. We had a theft that month, so we kept the footage longer for insurance purposes. She pulled up the video. Black and white. Grainy, but clear enough. There. 6 months ago. I watched myself walk into the coffee shop, saw myself sit down with my laptop, saw myself struggle with the setup. Then a man approached. Dark hair. Tall. He said something that made me laugh. Can you zoom in? I asked. She zoomed in on his face. There. On his left wrist. A watch with a leather band. That helps? She asked. I nodded. My throat tight. Because I'd seen that watch before. In photos on Instagram. It was Liam's. His grandfather had given it to him. He wore it in every photo. So Liam had told the truth. He'd been the one to approach me first. But then what? Had Connor really stolen me from him? Or had they planned this together from the start? I needed to know more. I spent the next 2 days tracking down the other women. Victoria was easy. We'd already talked. The others took more work. Social media stalking, old tagged photos, mutual friends. I found 3 more, set up a group chat, asked them to meet me. They all agreed. We met at a bar across town. 5 women who'd all dated the same twins, who'd all been manipulated the same way. I thought I was losing my mind, the first woman said. Her name was Natalie. He'd forget entire conversations, then tell me I was being forgetful. Same, another woman said. Harper. He'd show up wearing different clothes than he'd left in. When I asked, he'd say I was remembering wrong. Did they ever admit it? I asked. Not until I caught them, Natalie said. I came home early one day and found both of them in my apartment. They were going through my stuff, comparing notes about what I liked. What did you do? I called the police. They said it wasn't illegal, just weird. She laughed bitterly. The twins told everyone I was stalking them, that I was obsessed. Their friends believed them. They did the same to me, Harper said. Made me out to be the crazy one. We talked for hours, compared stories, found patterns. They'd been doing this for at least 7 years, maybe longer. We need to expose them, I said finally. How? Victoria asked. No one will believe us. Then we make them believe us. I spent the next week building a case. I compiled photos, screenshots, testimony from all 5 women, timeline of when they dated each twin, proof that the twins had been switching places for years. Then I created a website, posted everything, made it public. Within 24 hours, it went viral. Connor's employer called him in for a meeting. So did Liam's. Their friends started asking questions. Their parents called, horrified. The twins both texted me. Different numbers, same message. Please take it down. I didn't respond. 2 days later, my doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. Both twins were standing there, together. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. You're ruining our lives, Connor said. You ruined mine first, I said calmly. We loved you, Liam said. Both of us. You don't know what love is. Please, Connor begged. Take down the website. We'll leave you alone. We'll get therapy. Whatever you want. It's not about what I want anymore. I looked at both of them. These identical faces that had haunted me for months. It's about making sure you never do this to anyone else. You don't understand, Liam said. We've been doing this our whole lives. We don't know how to be separate people. Then learn. I closed the door. 3 months have passed since then. The website is still up. The twins both moved out of Portland. I heard they're in therapy now, separately. Their mother reached out to me last week, asked if we could talk. I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop. Different coffee shop this time. She cried when she saw me. I didn't know, she said. I swear I didn't know they were doing this to people. How could you not know? They've been switching since they were children. Little things at first. Going to each other's classes. Taking each other's tests. She wiped her eyes. I thought they'd grow out of it. I thought it was harmless. It wasn't harmless. I know that now. She reached across the table. I'm sorry for what they did to you, for what I enabled by looking the other way. I didn't take her hand. Why did they do it? She was quiet for a long time. They're both broken in different ways. Connor is charming but shallow. He can start relationships but can't maintain them. Liam is intense but unstable. He scares people away. So they became one person. They thought if they combined their strengths, they could have what they both wanted. Love, connection. She looked at me with red eyes. They're in therapy now, together and separate, trying to figure out who they are without each other. Good. Will you ever forgive them? I thought about it, about the good moments I'd had, the laughs, the connection, the feeling of being seen and understood. But I still didn't know which twin had given me those moments. Maybe both, maybe neither. I don't know, I said honestly. I don't even know who I'm supposed to forgive. She nodded. That's fair. I left that coffee shop and drove home, blocked their mother's number too. Last week I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a handwritten note. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. I know I can never make this right. But I need you to know that what I felt for you was real. Every moment we shared, every word I said, it was all real. Even if you'll never know which one of us wrote this. C and L. I burned the letter, because they were right. I'll never know which one wrote it. I'll never know which one I fell in love with. Maybe I fell in love with both of them. Maybe I fell in love with neither. Maybe I fell in love with a person who never existed. I'm in therapy now too, working through trust issues, learning to separate reality from manipulation. My therapist asked me yesterday if I regret meeting them. I thought about it for a long time. No, I said finally, because now I know what red flags look like. Now I know to trust my instincts. And what do your instincts tell you now? I smiled. That I'm worth more than being someone's experiment. Last night I went on a first date, different coffee shop, different city, different man. When he introduced himself, I studied his face, looked for any signs of deception, any twitches or tells. You okay? He asked. Just being careful, I said. That's smart. We talked for 2 hours. He was funny, kind, present. When he asked for my number, I hesitated. But then I realized something. I couldn't let Connor and Liam ruin this for me. Couldn't let them take away my ability to trust. So I gave him my number. And when he texted me that night, I checked his social media. Made sure he didn't have a twin. Made sure his life was real. It was. Maybe I'll always have to do this. Maybe I'll always have that moment of doubt. That flash of fear that the person across from me isn't who they claim to be. But I'm learning to live with it. Because the alternative is letting them win. And I refuse to let them win. Character count with spaces, 26,847. Wait, this is too short. Let me continue the story to reach approximately 50,000 characters. 2 months after that first date, I'm still seeing him. His name is Adrian. He's a teacher. Kind, patient, understanding about my trust issues. But I still check things. I still verify. I still ask questions that might seem odd. Why do you ask so many questions about my childhood? He asked one night over dinner. I could have lied, could have brushed it off, but I decided to tell him the truth. I dated twins who pretended to be one person, I said. For 6 months, I didn't know I was dating 2 different people. He set down his fork, looked at me, really looked at me. That's horrifying, he said. It was. And you're making sure I don't have a twin? Yes. He pulled out his phone, scrolled through photos, then turned it toward me. This is my brother. We look nothing alike. He lives in Boston with his wife and 2 kids. I looked at the photo. His brother was shorter, stockier, with lighter hair. Thank you, I whispered. You don't have to thank me for being honest. He reached across the table and took my hand. That's the bare minimum. That night, I cried for the first time since the twins. Not sad tears, relief tears, because maybe I could trust again. Maybe I could love again. Maybe I could believe that not everyone was hiding something. But then came the wedding invitation. It arrived 3 months after I'd last seen the twins. Heavy cardstock, expensive printing, gold lettering. Connor Walsh and Liam Walsh request the honor of your presence at their double wedding ceremony. My hands shook as I read it. A double wedding. They were both getting married. To different women. On the same day. There was a handwritten note inside. We want you to see that we've changed. That we've found real love. Separately. We hope you can find it in your heart to forgive us. C and L. I showed Adrian. He read it twice. Are you going to go? He asked. Absolutely not. Maybe you should. I looked at him like he was crazy. Why would I do that? Closure, he said. Right now, they live in your head rent-free. They haunt you. You check my social media constantly. You ask me where I was every time we're apart. You need to see that they've moved on. That they can't hurt you anymore. He was right. I hated that he was right. Will you come with me? I asked. Of course. The wedding was in 2 weeks. At a vineyard outside Portland. Same place, same time. 2 ceremonies happening simultaneously in different gardens. When we arrived, I almost turned around. But Adrian squeezed my hand. You've got this, he said. The venue was split in 2. Connor's ceremony was in the East Garden. Liam's in the West. Guests had to choose which one to attend. I chose neither. Adrian and I stood in the middle, where we could see both. Connor's bride was tall, brunette, elegant. She looked happy, blissfully unaware. Liam's bride was petite, blonde, bubbly. She was laughing as she walked down the aisle. I watched both ceremonies happen at once, watched both twins say their vows, watched both brides kiss their new husbands, and I felt nothing. No anger, no jealousy, no pain, just pity for those women who had no idea what they'd signed up for. After the ceremony, I started to leave, but then I saw her, Victoria, standing near the parking lot, watching. We locked eyes. She walked over. You came too, she said. Closure, I said. Same. We stood in silence for a moment. Then Harper appeared. Then Natalie. One by one, all 5 of us gathered. All 5 women who'd been manipulated by the twins. Think they'll do it again? Harper asked. Definitely, Victoria said. They can't help themselves. Should we warn them? I asked, nodding toward the brides. Would they believe us? Natalie asked. On their wedding day? She was right. They wouldn't. We stood there watching the reception begin, watching the twins dance with their new wives, watching them smile and laugh and play the role of devoted husbands. We should go, I said finally. This isn't our story anymore. As we walked toward our cars, Connor spotted me. His face went pale. He said something to Liam. Liam's head snapped in my direction. They both started walking toward us. Keep walking, Victoria said. But I stopped. Let them approach. They stood in front of us, both in matching tuxedos. Even on their wedding day, they couldn't help but dress alike. You came, Connor said. We all came, I said, gesturing to the other women. The twins looked at each of us. Recognition dawned on their faces. We wanted to apologize, Liam said. To all of you. Save it, Harper said. We're not here for your apologies. Then why are you here? Connor asked. To remind ourselves that we survived you, Victoria said. And to watch you do the same thing to someone else. We're not, Liam said quickly. We're different now. We're marrying different people. We're being honest. Are you? I asked. Did you tell your wives about us? About what you did? Silence. Did you tell them you've been switching places your entire lives? Natalie pressed. That was in the past, Connor said. Was it? I asked. Or have you just gotten better at hiding it? More silence. You know what I think? I said, stepping closer. I think you're still doing it. I think you married these women on the same day so you can switch whenever it's convenient. Keep the game going. That's insane, Liam said, but his voice lacked conviction. Is it? Victoria asked. Because it's exactly what you do. A woman's voice called out. Connor? Everything okay? His bride was walking toward us. Liam's bride was right behind her. Everything's fine, Connor called back. Just saying hi to some old friends. The brides reached us, smiled politely. I'm Ashley, Connor's bride said, extending her hand. Connor's wife. I'm Madison, Liam's bride said. Liam's wife. We all shook their hands. Didn't introduce ourselves. How do you know Connor and Liam? Ashley asked. We all looked at each other. Some silent agreement passed between us. We went to school with them, Victoria said smoothly. A long time ago. Oh, how wonderful, Madison said. They've told me so many stories about their school days. I'm sure they have, Harper said. There was an awkward pause. The bride sensed something was off. Well, we should get back to the reception, Ashley said. linking her arm through Connor's. Yes, Madison said, doing the same with Liam. It was nice meeting you all. As they walked away, Madison leaned into Liam and whispered something. He laughed. Connor looked back at us over his shoulder. His expression wasn't apologetic. It was defiant. Almost challenging. They were still doing it. I knew it in my bones. We need to tell them, I said. How? Victoria asked. We have no proof. Then we get proof, I said. Over the next 3 months, we became investigators. All 5 of us. We followed the twins, documented their movements, compared notes, and we found patterns. Connor would tell Ashley he had a work dinner. Liam would be with Madison, but security footage from restaurants showed both twins there, together, laughing. Liam would tell Madison he was visiting his brother. Connor would tell Ashley the same thing, but their cars would be at the same hotel, in the same parking lot. They were still switching, still lying, still playing their sick game. But this time, we had proof. We compiled everything into a detailed report: photos, videos, timeline, witness statements. Then we sent it to both wives, anonymously. 3 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Is this? The voice was shaking, female, young. Are you one of the women who sent me that report? I hesitated. Yes. I'm Ashley, Connor's wife. She took a shaky breath. Is it true? Did they really do this to you? Yes. I heard crying on the other end. I thought I was going crazy. He'd forget things, act differently. I told him he was scaring me, and he said I was being paranoid. I know, I said softly. They did the same thing to me. Madison called me, she said. She got the same report. We compared notes. Realized they've been switching during our marriages. I'm sorry, I said. Don't be sorry. Her voice hardened. Thank you for showing me the truth before I wasted more years on him. Both women filed for annulment within a week. The marriages were so new that they qualified. The twins called me, both of them. Different numbers, same message. You destroyed our lives. I laughed, actually laughed. I saved those women from the same hell you put me through. We changed, Connor said. We were trying to be better. No, you weren't, I said. You were just better at hiding it. Please, Liam begged. Tell them it was all a misunderstanding. No, we'll lose everything, Connor said. Good, I said, and hung up. The story went viral again. News outlets picked it up. The twins became infamous. They lost their jobs, their friends, their reputations, and I felt free, not happy, not vindicated, just free. Adrian proposed to me 6 months later, on a beach at sunset, just the 2 of us. I know you have trust issues, he said, holding the ring. I know you'll always have moments of doubt, but I promise you, I will spend every day proving that I'm exactly who I say I am. I said yes. We got married a year later, small ceremony, close friends and family only. As I stood at the altar looking into Adrian's eyes, I thought about Connor and Liam, about the months I'd spent not knowing who I was with, about the manipulation and lies and cruelty. And I realized something. They hadn't broken me. They'd taught me. They taught me to trust my instincts, to ask questions, to demand honesty, to never settle for less than I deserved. In trying to destroy me, they'd made me stronger. You okay? Adrian whispered during the ceremony. Perfect, I whispered back, and I meant it. The twins sent a wedding gift. I didn't open it. Threw it away, unopened. They sent letters. I burned them. They tried to contact me through mutual friends. I blocked them all, because they didn't get to be part of my story anymore. This was my happy ending, not theirs. 2 years later, I was pregnant with our first child, a girl. We decided to name her Hope. And one day, I'd tell her this story, not to scare her, but to teach her. Teach her that some people will lie to her, manipulate her, try to make her question her own reality. But teach her that she's strong enough to survive it, smart enough to see through it, brave enough to walk away from it. Because that's what I did. I survived Connor and Liam, and I built a life they could never touch. Last month, I heard they'd moved to another city. Started over with new name, new identities. Part of me wanted to warn that city, put up flyers, create a website. But Adrian stopped me. You can't save everyone, he said. You can only save yourself. He was right. So I let it go, let them go, and focused on my family, my marriage, my daughter who would grow up knowing what real love looked like. Sometimes late at night, I still wonder, which twin did I fall in love with, Connor or Liam? Was it the one who first approached me in the coffee shop, or the one who took me on our first date? But then I realized it doesn't matter, because I didn't fall in love with Connor or Liam. I fell in love with a lie, and the best revenge wasn't destroying them. It was building a life so beautiful, so genuine, so real, that their fake love story could never compare. They wanted to break me. Instead, they freed me, and that's a gift I'll carry forever. Even if they never meant to give it,